The news used to be as simple as reading the morning paper front to back. And keeping up with the world was as easy as waiting for the next edition to arrive at your door. We've since gone from one paper to multiple, from publishing once a day to a never-ending 24-hour news cycle. For some stories, you're entering right where you left off. But for others, it's like opening up a new book at chapter 3. With hundreds of unique articles published every hour of every day, it's nearly impossible to keep up. At Accio, we put your news in context, so you can catch up no matter when you enter the story. To learn more, head to accio.com.
Meet Ginny and Asen. They live in different cities, work in different industries, and are two very different people, except that they share the same problem: understanding everything happening in the news. For Ginny, it was understanding Brexit amid such a long and complicated narrative. For Asen, understanding all the key people Trump was electing to government seats early in his presidency. I'm sure we've all had that moment where we come across a subject in the news that completely overwhelms us. And how can you not? Thousands of unique articles are published every day in a never-ending 24-hour news cycle. In fact, for any article being published at this very moment I'm speaking on stage, by the time any of you get around to it, you're already behind. The current market solution has been summary content. These apps and newsletters have hired content teams to digest all that information for you in a few bare-bones sentences. But what happens if a news story breaks right after that newsletter is sent? What happens if there's something relevant to you that their human editors haven't deemed so? What happens if you actually want to dig a layer deeper? For these reasons and more, Ginny and Asen reject these solutions. Instead, they invest hours of their own life digging through the trenches of the internet, and they end up down a rabbit hole of tab hell, and only marginally closer to understanding what the hell is going on. Until now. We've built a browser plugin that allows you to be smarter, faster. Here's how it works. When reading an article in Google Chrome, Accio appears to the right of your screen like a bookmark sleeve, finding an interactive, zoomable timeline of previous articles published on that subject. So now, Ginny has all the context she needs to understand how Brexit unfolded. Within seconds, we also surface other bits of information that help enrich your overall understanding of the story. So now, Asen can get quick context on the key people mentioned in the stories he's following without ever navigating away from the page that he's currently on. Ginny and Asen are just two of the real users from our private beta launch this summer. Since that launch, we've grown our product waitlist 77%. We've seen initial user engagement of about 25 minutes per day, and have received a number of 5-star reviews in the Google Chrome store. And now, as of this very moment on stage, exclusively for the MIT audience, we'd like to announce that Accio is moving out of private beta and into public beta. We're using a freemium business model to drive long-term value through a monthly subscription. We're starting by helping the 28 million readers in the United States, just like Ginny and Asen, who still read news on the desktop. By starting with our browser plugin, we can test and play with what context means for you. We can collect data that helps inform an AI model for how that contextualized news should then be delivered to you. We can, and we will, build a user interface that matches the sophistication and simplicity of the modern digital consumer. This evolution allows us to empower all 248 million online news readers to actually be well-informed. Just picture it. A world where the news most relevant to you is available at any moment. A world where opening of an article isn't met with instant fatigue. A world where you can get content delivered to you in a format that matches your comprehension of that subject. It's a world our team was born to build. My name is Anam Hussain, and I'm a recovering journalist turned MBA graduate. I started my career as a correspondent for the Boston Globe before pivoting to nearby HubSpot, a software company. There, I built a growth marketing team that helped launch and grow our company's first browser plugin. My co-founder, Vivian Depp, is a CS major turned MIT Media Lab graduate, where she worked with award-winning journalists and the innovation teams at major media companies on their future of news projects. She also previously co-founded DeepStream, a video news startup. Together, we're on a mission to transform reading the news from this survivalist exercise into a rich, motivating experience. We hope you'll join us by going to accio.com/MIT. Thank you.